Welcome to Channel AMAC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested in migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side, so once all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Alright, today's video I will assist you to clarify and explain how the work experiences should really be evidenced. Obviously, a lot of migrants, everybody has their own different background coming from different places and countries and cultures. There's a different way of treating employment in different countries as well. So I have often been asked in regards to how the evidence of work should really be provided with the whether it's gonna just be a reference letter, or obviously we have been through a pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of these employers might not exist anymore, or perhaps you did not have a good relationship. Obviously, a lot of people a lot of people may know about this. You end up with your last or previous jobs with the bad experiences. Obviously, you don't want to go back to your boss and request for a reference letter. First of all, you don't like him anymore, you probably don't even have his contact, or perhaps he doesn't even want to pick up your phone call as well. So there's a lot of different situation going on, and in this video we will basically explain how you could evidence what you have actually achieved. So obviously the regulation, or the migration regulation, is set to actually to prove that first of all, to prove that you really have those work experiences, and those work experiences meeting the standards that it has been described under the ENSCO. And also there is a supporting evidence to back it up. Supporting evidence can come from different sources. So usually let me refer to this piece of information from Vet Assess. Now you may find similar information from Engineer Australia, AITSL, also all the other skill assessing authorities. There are different ways to verify. Now some of these skill assessing authority, they may require, sometimes they do random checks. They call up or they email your previous employer. Now which is a hustle. Now obviously a lot of people coming from countries from Africa regions or Southeast Asia regions, a lot of these evidence are not really professionally presented by ways that the officers will usually putting question mark in regards to whether or not this information are true or correct, because obviously a lot of people may engage migration agents or other type of agents. They may assist them to draft those references. However, whether or not they actually did the job or work, it's actually quite hard. And some of these countries do pay by cash, just in a way to avoid taxes, or numbers of countries. For example, I know some of the Southeastern countries, Asian countries in Africa, they don't even use their own national currencies because they don't trust it, because the currency is so weak. So as to some of the South American, Latin American countries as well. So they use USD, but the USD doesn't calculate the way they supposed to be, in a modern nations should be within the banks. So it's all paid by cash or something like that. So how can you actually evidence those kind of stuff? So first of all, let's talk about the most professional prepared documentation. It should really have a work references that detailedly provides. Let me show you a sample of these reference should look like. So employment reference letter should really look like this, where first of all, it cannot just be a piece of paper with all these letters on it. It has to have those so-called the letterhead. The letterhead should have your employer's company names, logo. Usually I understand some of the small businesses, they don't even have logo. For example, some of the small restaurants, how would they have the capability to form up a reference letter? Or perhaps they don't even have a logo. However, they still required to follow this format. And the letterhead should also include the company name or the business names, business contact number, and the business address. Usually will be those one, or even website address and email contact address there. Now, follow on, they should have a date. So when was this actually being signed, and has a title says employment reference letter. Now you see the dash here and the blanked it out. It's usually will be the employee's name. That will be probably your name there, and they will say I confirm someone so on and so who, and employment ID. If they have employment ID, was employed in what period of time, what sort of role they were employed in, and how much they get paid, how many hours they contribute to the positions, and their remunerations, and the detail of their work usually will be down there, and usually it should really match towards whatever the occupation description that is usually been described in ANS code, and we will aim, you should aim to be more closely related or closely similar to the ANS code description, and plus some of the minor changes, because every single company might have their different role there. And then the manager should really have it signed out there. Now some countries like Taiwan or Japan, they do require stamps, so we'll get that stamp there. So that will complete a full reference letter. That's how it should be, and it should really accompany with the your salary or income evidence. For example, a payslips. Usually a professional company will have a payslip, but if you work in a small restaurant, for example, as a chef or cook, perhaps there is no payslips, but you might have a bank transfer, so you will have a bank statement or bank passbook to show all the years of incomes coming in. Okay, that's another way to demonstrate. However, sometimes those income goes into a credit to towards your bank account, doesn't show where they come from or what is it for. So it's another way that's very hard to actually demonstrate that the income's there. There usually will be a periodic, and they will be the same amount. Then that will also show as evidence of income as well. Now the other thing is, what if it's cash? The problem with the cash is obviously there's no track records. So there is another thing called statutory declaration that you can actually get done. So we have assisted numbers of our previous clients successfully done this. So you may search for Commonwealth statutory declaration and just get a blank one. So it will be look like this one. Okay. So obviously you insert your name, your date of birth, address, occupation, and then you basically describe what you have done, what sort of job, how much you have been remunerated, that's income, and the description that you had, and you sign down there. Now what is this? Now this is under the Statutory Declaration Act 1959. That means if you make a statutory declaration, that means you swear that whatever you say and whatever you sign, and it has to be witnessed by a justice of peace. That means, so this will be a legal document. If whatever you say or sign being found it's fraud, it doesn't go against what you actually claim or towards the fact, then you will have a legal issue. That means you basically, that piece of document will be a total fraud straight away. So it's a very lawful document and serious document. So I ensure that the make sure that you don't write something that doesn't exist. However, that will be the way that you could actually perhaps to demonstrate your work experience. Now the other thing perhaps you can do is you get reference from your co-workers previously, so they can write a reference for you, and also perhaps you have done some you have taken some photos before. You can provide those photos just to show that you have actually worked there. If those evidence, for example, you have worked in a small restaurant, there's never been paper documentations, but you do have first few weeks or with your colleagues during holidays, you guys work together, take photos, selfies, and things like that. That will really help to demonstrate as evidence, the supporting evidence towards your work experience. Now, these are very important because you wanted to provide this to your skill assessment. So when they assess it, you will have those work experience accrued. You understand the work experience requirement that goes into the general skill migration with points, or it goes requirement for your employment sponsor visa, as the work experience will count towards validity for your visa as well. Anyway, so if you have more questions, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below. I'll see you next video. Goodbye.